Strategy is about winning. Strategy is the combined set of choices for us to win. If you are ever lost when making a strategy, you can always return to this North Star. I will show you a simple way to think about strategy. This is perfect for the early strategist still learning the basics and wanting to get into strategy work. Strategy can get quite easily overwhelming when you first get started because there's so much content out there about it. But if you can start to think about and apply strategy in a clear and simple way, then we can layer on the added detail and complexity later that will help us execute the strategy itself. You're always asking yourself, have I established what winning is and selected the best possible action so I can win? And this will keep you on the straight path when working on the strategy. A simple mental model to think about making strategy is the why, what, how model. You can always use this model to quickly build out a strategy, and it's easy to remember. It's also extensible, which means you can expand parts of it into fuller, more in-depth strategy. And it's a little different than what you're probably thinking, which is the Simon Sinek Golden Circle model and his theory on building a value proposition. Here we are repurposing it and redefining each part and switching the order around so we can use it more practically to build a strategy. So let's discuss this three-part strategy model and how it works. Part 1, why? We first describe the context and the reason we need to change. Strategy is a catalyst for change. Oftentimes, it's big change. This means we need to convince our audience that this is something we need to do so we can win. We do this by establishing the context and the challenge, and we can make it clear to our audience on why we need to act on this now and with urgency. Oftentimes, the bigger the problem, the bigger the value is of solving that problem. And this is an opportunity for us to talk about this problem and why the current options are not quite cutting it. And therefore this presents us an opportunity, but we must act on it soon so we don't lose that opportunity, or if competitors see it and end up taking advantage of it before we do. Let's use a fictional company called CreatorSpace to illustrate this model. CreatorSpace is a company that is the WeWork for creators. It's a co-working space, but it's purpose-built for creators, and it includes studio-like spaces where creators can film their content and interact with like-minded creators. Much like how WeWork is for startups and one-person businesses. Here's an example of why we should care. The creator market is also growing exponentially as it gets easier to build a business online with no-code software and social platforms, making it simple to get started. Yet no co-work space is offering the tools and environment tailored specifically for creators to make content. We are in a rare situation with tons of demand and virtually no supply. Specifically, many new creators are looking for office space to make content and interact with other creators on a similar journey. High demand. And a bunch of office spaces catering for startups and entrepreneurs, but none offering small studio environment to create content. Low supply. We see podcast studio rental options popping up, but no one has yet to offer a full-featured creator-led co-work rental. With the growth in creator expected to continue to expand rapidly, it's only a matter of time that the demand becomes obvious to others. We've described the gap in the market and why we need to close the gap. And that leads us to the next part. Part 2. What? If strategy is about winning, then we should describe what winning actually looks like. This is your aspiration and destination for the strategy. You want to dimension the conditions of what success looks like. It could be number one in your niche. It could be growing 50% by 3 years. It could be 10,000 subscribers by 2025. It's your condition for winning, and it's bold or it's ambitious with a long-term horizon that you can work towards in a sustained way. A lot of strategy often comes down to knowing where you are, which is point A, and where you want to be, which is point B, and how you intend to get from A to B. The more you can crystallize point B, which is the ambition, the easier it is to make the actions you take and the solutions you come up with to make sure that they're aligned to your headline goal. Let's take a look at an example of what winning means to us. CreatorSpace is the #1 destination for creator co-working space. We empower creators to make video and audio content when they're away from home. We create a space for them to engage with like-minded creators. Our spaces are both inspirational and functional. This is now our North Star and our ambition. This means that the solutions and actions that we come up with next should get us closer to our ambition of being the go-to co-working space for creators in our geography. Let's take a look at what that looks like in the next part. Part 3, how. If we've described what winning looks like, then we should describe how we intend to win. Here, we describe the mechanism or the vehicle that will help us bring our change to get us to our desired outcome. I often refer to this mechanism as the future state. This is where we describe our value proposition, and it's the key to our strategy. The value proposition describes the unique value we provide in the marketplace and how we are different, better than our competitors. We carve out a space in the market that we intend to occupy. When constructing the value proposition for your proposed solution, you want to be clear on who it's for, what benefit it offers, and how those benefits are valuable to our users. This is an example of how we will win. CreatorSpace is a creator-first co-working space. Our difference is the creator-centric facilities we offer, so creators can set up and record with minimal hassle and equipment. We offer studios of different sizes, each fully equipped with soundproof, lighting, mics, and camera tripods. Just bring your own camera and record, and we can take care of the rest. Our weekly events mean you can network with similar creators and form friendships and partnerships to grow your personal brand and business. This is how we intend to win the game. It's at this point where you have the option to expand the strategy and build it out further. You can do that by double-clicking on the how part. We take the future state solution, work back from that ambition by breaking down into specific priorities and steps that we will need to get to that ambition. So in this example, we may expand on the how by describing 3 main priorities. First, we build creator-led facilities that make creating studio and audio equipment a breeze for creators. And we'll do that by making modern, inspiring spaces with studios that are fully equipped. Second, we'll help creators make friends and build a valuable network using themed events and guest speakers. Third, we will attract creators to sign up, stay, and advocate for us, using a combination of organic content which share tips and education for new creators and partnerships with local big-name creators to join the space. Since this is a new opportunity, our early actions will focus on building the proposition and acquiring customers. Now, as we mature and ready our operations and infrastructure for scale, we'll end up focusing more on systemizing our model so we can scale to multiple locations. And if we want to continue with the strategy work, we can actually double-click once more on each of the 3 main actions and begin to sequence those steps in our execution and build our execution blueprint for the strategy. So you can see how we can use a simple 3-part model to build the strategy, and with that core idea in place, we can double click on the how to expand the strategy into something more robust, like a robust blueprint. And that's how you can build out the first iteration of your strategy and then begin to expand on it. If you're enjoying this sort of strategy content, then go to overnightstrategist.com to get quality strategy tools and training to help you with complex problem solving and strategic storytelling. All right, to recap, these are the main points. Strategy is about winning and the choices we make to win. There are 3 parts to creating a strategy: why we should care, what winning means to us, and how we will win. And then we can expand on the how to flush out the details of the strategy. And that's a simple model anyone can use to think about and write strategy. Thanks, and see you soon.